Hey, this is Tomas from okaysnotenough.com, helping you become the best version of yourself and create a more exciting and more fulfilling life. And it's been a long time since I've uploaded my last video, for probably over a year. Reason being, world is going crazy. I've been extremely busy and managing lots of different things, and unfortunately YouTube and video content had to be put on hold, but I'm back in the game and I am committed to be creating a lot of great and valuable content for you guys. In 2021, and I'm not going to kick it up with anything smaller than my monthly goals update. And before we jump into that, you've probably noticed, if you followed me for some time, that the setup is different. Hey, a lot of things have changed. I am coaching 100% online now. I don't see any clients in person because it's not possible. So I've sort of transferred to the digital world, and as many of us I now work and live on Zoom. But it has also affected the way I'm recording. So as you noticed, my setup is different, and I have also some cool tech that I will show you in a second. And one thing that's going to be different when I'm going through these goals is that I'll actually scroll through my website and kind of give you some extra information about the individual goals, rather than just me sitting here speaking to the camera, so you get a little bit of a visual with it. So if you haven't checked it out yet, this is on my website, okaysnotenough.com, in the goal sections, and right up here in the menu, my 2021 goals. Before we dive into that, people often ask me, why do I do this? Even though they may admire that, they may not understand. So I like to just take a moment and explain some of the key points, key reasons why I'm sharing these goals publicly on my website. The 5 main reasons why I'm sharing my goals publicly on my website with the world are these. So number 1 is that I want to show that I walk my talk. As a coach, it's very important to me that people understand I'm not some theoretical coach who read some books and now is preaching it to the world. 99% of the things that I'm sharing with my clients are things that I have tried and tested and improved or developed, and that worked for me, or that I have good faith in. More importantly, I want to show that I push myself. The second reason is because I want people to see me fail, not because of some twisted desires, but because failure is inseparable from success. And I want to show people that I'm not perfect, that I make mistakes, that I'm not always 100%, and therefore it's okay for them to not be perfect, because perfectionism and the desire or fear of making mistakes is one of the most frequent things that actually stops people from even trying. So I'm in a way trying to normalize not being perfect, because I certainly am not. The third reason is that, of course, I want to inspire other people by me setting my goals, perhaps the magnitude of some of the goals, maybe the number of the goals, or just being so committed and dedicated. And I know that many people get inspired by just following my journey and reading about my goals and my progress, and it helps them set their own goals, maybe aim a little higher and push themselves a little more. And if that's the impact just me sharing my goals has, then that's fantastic. The fourth reason is that I want to show people how I get stuff done, how I set my goals, how I phrase it, how I go about it. There is certain phrasing to my goals, there's the why, there is a way I'm tracking it, and so it's also a tool that people can copy if they want to, which I'm perfectly okay with. And the final reason is that in me putting my goals out there on my website, where I get around 5,000 people visiting every month, And these goals pages are some of the most visited pages on my website. But I also share it publicly every month. Every time I release this update, I post it on my social media, and altogether I have approximately 50,000-60,000 followers. That's a lot of people, hence that's a lot of accountability. And so I do this to put that healthy pressure on me, to create this accountability of tens of thousands of people, because then it helps me push myself and deliver on these goals. I'll be honest with you, I don't always feel like doing the work that is required to achieve these goals. But by creating this accountability, I make the option of not putting in the work and failing and not delivering on these goals, and then obviously publicly looking like a coach who is not walking his talk, I make it so uncomfortable that it looks unthinkable, unacceptable, and I much rather do the work that may not be fun, that may not be enjoyable, that may, there's a lot of resistance or even fears around doing. But that option seems much less uncomfortable, doing the work, than actually not doing it and then looking like a coach who's not walking his talk. And now, with all that said, let's go and check out my goals and how far I've got by the end of February 2021. I have to think about it for a moment. So, just to remind you, or if you're new to my goals updates, because I have so many goals, I organize them into several categories, such as my business, my coaching, my personal goals, health and fitness, and so on. And each of these categories has goals obviously related to the category. And the first one is my business goals. And all the goals in this category are designed to help me improve and grow my business. And the first goal is I will easily reach annual website traffic to 40,000 visitors by December 31st. With every goal, I always share this why. Why am I setting this goal? Because not only I do it for myself, but I want people to understand what is the reason behind the goal. And every goal you set should have its why. You should be very clear on why you're setting that goal. Because I think it was Simon Sinek who said, if your why is big enough, you can conquer any how. And also one question that I get quite frequently is, why do I say I will easily do XYZ? Why do I say I will easily? Well, the reason for that is because language is very powerful. Language shapes our perception of how we see things, how we perceive things. And whilst you might think, well, but just saying I will easily doesn't make a big impact on how you feel. Now, imagine I got 50 plus goals on this website, and obviously I revisit them very frequently, sometimes several times a week, and I'll read through them. Imagine that instead of I will easily, I said I will struggle to accomplish XYZ. With every goal, what I'll be doing, I'll be priming my mind to expect it to be a struggle. And because we have confirmation bias, I'll probably find reasons or ways of seeing, working on that goal as being a struggle. Whereas when I say I will easily, it equally primes my mind and it sort of shapes my perception of how I see that goal. It has micro impact, maybe 1-3%. It makes it easier for me to work on those goals. But hey, that's a pretty good gain for just saying easily a few times. And so the first goal is I will easily reach annual website traffic of 40,000 visitors by December 31st. Obviously, the reason for that is the traffic to my website is very important because that's where I sort of drive my business through. So more people, more traffic and better traffic typically relates to or equals more inquiries and then more clients, which means more business. In January, I have had 5,230 people. In February, 5,242. So very steady, and it's really good. I'm definitely on track with this goal. I feel like I could have pushed a little higher, but in comparison to last year, I wanted to set a goal that is reasonable and achievable. There's nothing wrong with overachieving the goals that you set. Now, the second goal is I will easily have at least 1,000 scorecards taken on my website by December 31st. So the Lifestyle Scorecard is a free assessment that you can take. The link is there on the website as well. I will include it in the description of the video as well. And it does pretty much what it says. You complete or answer about 30 quick questions where you pretty much score yourself on the level to which it's whether you agree or disagree. And in a few minutes, when all the data is analyzed, you will receive a report that will show you a beautiful diagram and kind of break down all the answers and categorizes them into different areas of your life, and will show you how strong or weak these areas of your life are, and it gives you some suggestions, tips on what you could do to actually improve it. Hey, for a free tool, it's actually fantastic. I'm really proud of that. And of course, people take the scorecard, it will help them understand a little bit better. They get a ton of value out of it. And, by that alone, I'm succeeding with it. But sometimes people want to know more, and they're interested in understanding, how they could improve these individual areas. And they reach out to me, which of course potentially could lead to business as well. So in January, I've had 142 scorecards taken, and in February 134. So again, I'm in pretty good shape to achieve this goal, which, by the way, would be really good improvement in comparison to the previous years. I made some adjustments. I made the whole thing work faster and made it look better, which seemed to work really well. The next goal is I'll easily publish my new self-discipline scorecard by April 1st. Just as with the first scorecard that I mentioned just a moment ago, the Lifestyle Scorecard, this scorecard would be specific to the areas of self-discipline and identify which out of them the 9 key pillars or skills or areas that one needs to develop in order to develop a strong and reliable self-discipline, in whether they're in good shape or whether people need to work on them. Again, it's sort of diagnostic tool that will be for free, and I want to help people be a little clearer on what they need to work on. And so I haven't finished the scorecard yet. I started working on it. It's about halfway done. Still some work to do, but it's going to be great. I'm using different platform for this one. My Lifestyle Scorecard. It's I've built it all myself, and it's very complex. This is much easier to create because it's all done on a platform. The next goal is I'll easily create an online portal for my Unbreakable Self-Discipline Bootcamp by April 1st. So this is a really ambitious goal considering it's the end of February or beginning of March. The reason for this goal is that I have launched my Unbreakable Self-Discipline Bootcamp in November last year, and it was sort of a launch program. So I had a bunch of people joining, and we all went through it together, and it was fantastic. The feedback was really great. The challenge with that model is that I would have to be doing launches several times a year, and that would limit the opportunity for people to join only at the launch date. What I've decided to do, I will record all the modules. I will have a portal where people can join and sign up anytime. They get access to the portal with all the content, all the modules, and with that they get number of months of live classes with group coaching and accountability and all the stuff, which will be so much better for everybody, and equally, better for me, not just in terms of running it, but also in terms of business and cash flow and so on. I have the whole mock-up. I'm just creating the content. It's going to be a lot of videos and will take a lot of time, but I'm committed to make it happen by April 1st. Very ambitious goal, I must admit. If you haven't seen the Unbreakable Self-Discipline Bootcamp or the content of it, there is a link on this page where read more, but also I will include the link in the description of the video. Next goal, I will easily relaunch my Unbreakable Self-Discipline Bootcamp as an ongoing program. So I pretty much explained that in the previous goal. These two are very, very much related. And there's nothing much more to say about this one. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section. And actually, I would like to know whether self-discipline is something you feel you could improve, or whether it's something that you feel very strongly about and you're super consistent and super disciplined. If so, that's fantastic. Well done. I know that many people really, really struggle with this. The next goal is I will easily migrate my marketing to a more suitable platform by March 1st. So that goal has been accomplished already. I was previously on GetResponse. It was really good. I was with them for years. But because I'm creating this online portal, I needed a platform that would support a membership site as well. And creating this kind of online portal and having videos and so on. And unfortunately, GetResponse wasn't, they don't provide that sort of service. So at that moment, I needed to move, and it was quite painful and complicated process, not just to choose the right platform. And I had a few good candidates. I actually ran a few of these platforms simultaneously, but then decided to commit to one of them. So that goal has already been accomplished. Next goal is I will easily outsource and delegate 10 projects by December 31st. The reason for this goal is because I have many clients that I work with, and they are my priority. I give a lot of time and attention and support to my clients, so that takes a lot of time. There's a lot of things that I'm also doing, creating content, videos, building that program. Of course, I have personal life as well, somewhere in between. So I want to make sure that I'm delegating as much as I can to people who either can do it as good as I can or on an acceptable level. And frankly, in many cases, they can probably do it better than I could, especially some of the tech back end of things. If you have a business yourself, you probably know how challenging it can be to outsource and delegate your work. First of all, we are probably biased and we think that we can do better. I've been nurturing everything that I do and making sure that it's very high quality or the best quality I can produce. And it can be very frustrating and very painful sometimes to be training someone up and just handing it over and let go of that desire to control everything. However, I have, over the last couple of years, I've built a small team, so I have a couple of really reliable people for all kinds of services, and I've also started working with a company that I can delegate to lots of different tasks. So my goal was to delegate and outsource 10 projects, and at the moment I've done 6 already, and there's going to be many more. Again, I could have been probably more ambitious with that goal, but hey, sometimes it looks challenging, but once we start doing it, it actually becomes much easier. The next goal is I will easily complete at least 2 advanced copywriting courses by December 31st. So far, I haven't started with any. I have one in the pipeline on my to-do list. At the moment, I'm super busy, but definitely going to do that. At the moment, I haven't started with any. I haven't actually identified any specific course that I want to do. I'm spoiled for choice. The internet is full of funnel building courses. I just want to do a little bit of research and make sure that whatever I'm spending time with, it's going to be useful. Because I know already quite a bit about this, so I want to make sure that I'm advancing my knowledge rather than going through some kind of refresher or reminder. Next goal is I'll easily complete an A/B testing course by December 31st. Again, A/B testing in marketing is where you testing different versions of, let's say, a landing page or an ad or a cover, because obviously whatever you have out there, you want it to be as effective as possible. Again, there is art and skill and science to it, and I want to make sure that I'm not doing things haphazardly and I'm doing it as strategically as possible. And the final goal in the business category is I will easily redesign my About Me page by December 31st. The reason for this goal is that the About Me page is one of the most visited pages on my website. And the current copy is actually several years old. It hasn't been updated that much since I launched this website, which is about 5 years. And in the last 5 years, I've grown exponentially in terms of business and personally. So there's a lot to be added to the website. There is a lot to be removed, I think. I just have lots of cool ideas how I can rebuild and redesign that website so it represents me more accurately and helps people understand better where I'm coming from, who I am, and whether I might be the coach they would like to work with. The next category of my goals is my coaching goals. And all the goals in this category are designed or have the intention to help me grow the coaching side of my business or my coaching skills or my coaching practice. So the first goal is I will easily run 140 initial consultations by December 31st. So the initial consultation is a process or conversation where when a person is interested in coaching, they send me an inquiry. First, I want to make sure that we are a good fit on the goal level. Secondly, I want to make sure that we are a good fit on the personal level, that there is chemistry, that there is, we would work together really well. And so the initial consultation is about that, for us to figure out whether me and the person will be a good match for coaching. Now, I know from my experience that having 140 consultation or initial consultations a year usually translates to the right number of clients. That out of 140, how many people become clients. So I've set a target, which I'll tell you about in a second. And so I know that 140 consultations is approximately what I need. In January, I had 11. In February, I had 15. So we at the moment at 26, which seems like I'm pretty much on track to hit that target by the end of the year, if I continue in this on this level. The next goal is I will easily work with 40 new inspiring clients by December 31st. About this goal, the word that is really important there is inspiring clients. Fortunately, I'm in a position now where I can choose who I work with. When I started coaching 8 years ago, I would coach anybody, whoever was willing to listen or was willing to give it a shot or would just give me the opportunity, because I just wanted to coach anybody and everybody. 8 years later, obviously I've built my business to a certain level and I can choose who I work with. And because with many of my clients, I've been working for months and months, with some of them for years. There's a lot of time that we spend together. There are many sessions that we have. And I want to make sure that I'm always looking forward to it. So this is something I'm always paying attention to. If the chemistry is there, and I need to be inspired by the person, not necessarily by the level of accomplishments. That's not really important, but their drive and their passion and their values and their ambitions and their excitement and their personality. If I don't feel it, I would probably not agree to working with them, because then I would just do it for the money. And look, I started a business to do something that I love and that I enjoy every single day. So if I wouldn't enjoy it, why would I agree to working with them? So in January I had 5, in February I had 3, so at the moment I'm on 8, which I'm sort of ahead of that target, which is great, but I also need to make sure that I don't take on too many clients and then end up coaching back to back, which is, I love coaching, but there's many other things that I need to do, as you can see with these goals, and I need to have enough time for that. And I only do 3 coaching sessions a day. That's the maximum I do at the moment, and I've been doing for years now. It's kind of the right rhythm. So there are only so many clients I can work with. The next goal is I will easily run 400 coaching sessions by December 31st. Just as I mentioned a moment ago, I'm only coaching 3 times a day, so only 3 sessions a day, maximum Monday to Friday. That makes it 15 sessions a week, so maximum of 60 sessions a month. Of course, hopefully I'll be able to go on holidays, and I don't necessarily have every week 15 sessions, because like now I'm booking some time off to be recording the videos for my program and so on. So 400 sessions is it's a very good and very healthy target, and I know if I'm on track with this, I'm keeping the right balance of everything. At the moment I'm on 80, which is pretty much on track, considering that I'll probably go away for a few weeks here and there if we can. The next goal is I'll easily reflect on my coaching sessions 100 times by December 31st. So this is not necessarily goal related to coaching per se, but it is about the coaching sessions. And the reason why I have this goal is reflecting and then improving things based on that reflection is one of the best and most effective tools I have ever used in terms of growth, whether personally or professionally. Why it's so powerful is because when you reflect, let's say I reflect on a coaching session that I had with a client, and either I usually identify few things that I could have done better, whether saying certain things, sharing certain suggestions, or just holding back and letting the client speak more. There's always something to improve. I have a healthy level of self-criticism, and so I always critique my sessions, and there are always things to improve, but there are also things that I feel that I identify that I've done really well. It was the right question to ask at the right time, or right suggestion, or right time to be quiet. With this, every time I reflect, I can then take the learning from it, whether things to keep doing or things to stop doing, and implement it next time. And so with every reflection, I become slightly better coach. Hopefully, if I keep implementing these learnings. But I've been doing this for years now in different areas of my life, not just in coaching, just sitting down, reflecting, identifying things I've done well and things I need to improve, and then implementing that, kind of intentionally improving these areas or replicating these areas. And it has had an incredible impact on developing, in this case, my coaching skills, becoming a better coach, or improving in any other area of my life where I've applied this practice. So I've done 14 reflections in January, 15 in February. So I don't do reflections on every session that I do. When I do it, it takes a little bit of time, maybe 15-20 minutes. So I'm on 29, and that's I'm pretty much on track, probably slightly ahead. The next goal is I will easily spend 50 hours studying coaching by December 31st. I always try to be better in any area that I'm sort of working on or that I'm focused on. Coaching obviously is a big area of my life, and I'm continuously striving to be a better coach. Therefore, I make sure that I always study and I'm learning more, and I'm reading books, and I'm developing new skills, because I want to be as good as I can, because the better I am as a coach, then obviously my clients then benefit from it, and that's why I do this. So in January I've done 5 hours of studying, and in February 6 hours of studying, altogether 11, pretty much on track. I think by summer I will have achieved this goal. And the last goal in this category is I'll easily have 50 plus people signing up to my Unbreakable Self-Discipline Bootcamp by December 31st. So yeah, I want to help at least 50 people to overcome procrastination, self-doubt, excuses, or weakness, and help them develop unbreakable self-discipline so they can work on their goals and dreams. The reason for me even creating this self-discipline bootcamp is because through all the coaching that I've done, thousands of coaching hours, and having spoken to somewhere around 1,500 people for the initial consultations, I can see very clearly that one of the most common reason or cause for people not having the life that they want, not achieving the things that they would love to have in their life, is the lack of self-discipline, lack of ability to just execute and do what needs to be done. Because people wait and rely on motivation, and they wait for when they feel like working on the goal. Here's what I say about success, and whatever success means to you, your goals and dreams and ambitions, that's the success that I'm talking about. Being successful is not hard or complicated or difficult. The problem is that not being successful is so much easier, because you don't have to do any of the hard work, and you can spend or even waste time with all the other fun things and more enjoyable things that are just easier to do. So I want to help people develop the ability to be able to do the hard work. The next category of my goals is profile goals. And all the goals in this category are designed to elevate my profile, to make me and my profile more visible, and portray me in the most accurate way to the world, because then with a better profile and wider reach, of course, it has an impact on my business as well, and on my reputation. So the first goal in this category is I will easily get my LinkedIn SSI, which stands for Social Selling Index, score to 70 plus. If you are on LinkedIn and you haven't checked it out, then just Google LinkedIn SSI or Social Selling Index, and it will ask you to log into your profile, and it will show you the score, which is very useful, because the higher the score, the stronger your profile is on LinkedIn, and it'll also give you some indicators on which areas of your profile need to be improved and how you can improve them, because the higher the SSI number, the stronger your LinkedIn profile and more exposure your post and your content will get, because your profile essentially is more attractive to the LinkedIn algorithm. In January, the score was 65. In February was 64. Reason for that is I posted a little bit less on LinkedIn in February. Just been busy with things and frankly neglected that a little bit. And there you go. So the target to be on 70 plus is relatively ambitious. It's not like you post a few things on LinkedIn and it just the number goes up dramatically. You have to be very consistent, and getting anywhere near 70 or even 80 is extremely difficult. So let's see. Next goal is I'll easily reach 3,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Now, my question is, are you subscribed? If not, hey, help me out with this goal. I'm on 2,100 something. My goal is to have 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I admit I was slacking with my YouTube channel in 2020, but as you can see, I'm picking my game up again, and there's going to be a lot more content. I'm preparing some really cool things. I'm preparing to do a long confidence series. So if confidence is one of the topics you would like to, or one of the areas you would like to improve, then hey, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and don't miss on any of the videos. In January, I was on 2,041. By the end of February, I was on 2,119. My channel is growing relatively steadily by about 80 subscribers a month, which is not bad considering I haven't posted content in a long time. So let's see what kind of impact it will have when I start posting videos regularly. Next goal is I'll easily reach 4,000 watched hours on my YouTube channel by December 31st. If you are familiar with YouTube and certain kind of milestones to hit, so having 4,000, there are two key milestones initially, which is to hit 1,000 subscribers, which obviously I've got there already, and the other one is to reach 4,000 watched hours in any consecutive 12 months. Doesn't sound like much, but obviously not everybody's watching whole videos, and you can get a ton of views, but if you guys click away after a few minutes or a few seconds, then that doesn't add. But if you made it all the way here, hey, I massively appreciate your attention and you watching everything that I've talked about so far, because we must be, I'm guessing, maybe 20 minutes in. So by the end of February, the number was 825 watched hours in the last 12 months. So I'm pretty far. I'm not even 25. I'm probably, 20% in. So still a lot to do and yeah, a lot of views to get. The next goal is I'll easily be featured or interviewed 5 times by December 31st. So hey, the reason for this is, one, I love being interviewed. Big surprise, I like talking. And I usually have a lot to say. So I really enjoy being interviewed. Secondly, being interviewed or featured somewhere, it's a great exposure. I always really appreciate it, but whoever's interviewing me, they typically have their own audience already. So when they share the interview, not only that I do my best to make sure that it's valuable to their listeners, but it also gives me extra exposure. So being interviewed 5 times this year, I think it's totally doable, and it'll be good for my profile. Next goal is I'll easily write my book by December 31st. So hey, this goal I've been wrestling with for a couple of years now, and there are a couple of reasons for that. One of them is, I've actually written my book already, about 45,000 words. Well, let's say 80% of it, but I just wasn't happy with it. The more time passes between when I started and now, the more I can see how it should have been different, how it could be better, and my ideas are developing. And I'm obviously maturing as a content creator and as a writer and as a coach. So I will probably need to start from scratch. And I'm actually rethinking the topic of my book. So I haven't started working on this goal yet, but it's a very ambitious and difficult one. And I want to make sure that I'm bringing in something new. Hey, there are hundreds of thousands of personal development books, and I don't want to just repackage something that's been done a million times, which is very, very hard to do. So I want to make sure that if I'm producing that and putting all the time into it, plus it costs a lot of money then to get it produced, that it's valuable not only to the readers, but it's also a good addition to my business and to my profile. I haven't made any progress on that goal yet. And the last goal in this category is I will easily speak on stage or present online. One of those two. Who knows when we'll be able to get on stage again. At least 3 times this year. Of course, it became a little bit more difficult to be speaking. Arguably, perhaps you might say that it has got easier because it's online, there's no logistics, but it's a moderately ambitious goal, but I believe it's totally doable. The next category of my goals are values goals. So all the goals in this category are set with the intention for me to share value and tips and tricks and know-hows and how-tos and inspiration and motivation with you guys, with the hope that you will apply it and it will make a great and positive impact on your life as well. So the first goal in this category is I'll easily record 24 videos for my YouTube channels by December 31st. So I'm secretly hoping that I'll be able to do more than 24 videos, but the feedback that I got in the past on my videos has been really positive, and not only because of the value that people got out of it, but it also had a very positive impact on my business and my profile. So I want to make sure that I continue with that. It took me a long time. It took me the first year of recording to really figure out how to do videos and all the editing, all the backend and the recording, all the tools and the tech. And now when I have it, well, probably not all, but most of it nailed down, it's easier than ever. So there really is no excuse for me other than just making time for it. So 24 videos. So far, I haven't published any, but I've recorded several, and this is another one. So I think I'm pretty good shape at the moment. The next goal is I will easily publish 24 articles by December 31st. There are several reasons why I am writing articles. One of them, of course, is me sharing all these tips and values and inspirations and how-tos and so on, because then people, hopefully read it and apply it, and it makes a positive impact on their life. Secondly, of course, content is a great authority builder. So when I have, as a coach, when I have a lot of content out there, people end up on my website and they read a little bit about me, they can see that, I didn't decide yesterday to become a coach. I've been doing this for a while. Another reason is that actually writing articles, it's a fantastic way to really tighten up and formalize these ideas that I have and tools, because sometimes, I have really good ideas, something I would like to write about, and it's in quite rough shape, and I need to really put it together, and then sitting down and writing about it, I need to explain it in some logical fashion. So writing is a really good tool for that. So it really helps me solidify and crystallize my ideas and some of the tools. So these are some of the main reasons why. And of course, in terms of the credibility, but also I would call it Google credibility in terms of SEO, the more valuable content I have on my website, the more organic traffic I'm bringing to my website, where people search for something, and my articles are coming up in Google results. And I can see over time now, over several years, I've been creating a lot of content, and my organic traffic is increasing, and I'm now on about 2,000 views a month organically, which is great. So these are some of the key reasons for me creating content. Next goal is I will easily post 24 videos on LinkedIn by December 31st. LinkedIn launched their video posts about a year ago. It was really trendy at the beginning, and the video posts got kind of disproportionate exposure. I think the algorithm favored them. I had some goals to be posting videos on LinkedIn last year, just didn't get around to it, or didn't make the time for it. I just had other priorities, and this year I decided to make sure that I do post these videos on LinkedIn, because The few videos that I posted last year actually had really good feedback, or were really well received, and actually resulted in several people coming to me for coaching because of a LinkedIn video. So I want to continue with that and see the impact of that. And 24 videos, a couple of videos a month, it's very few, it's very doable. There should be no excuse for that. With that said, at the moment, I publish 0 videos on my LinkedIn. Next goal is I'll easily post 200 times on LinkedIn by December 31st. Yeah, I want to be posting regularly 200 times. It's approximately 4 or 5 times a week throughout the whole year. I'm probably a little bit behind at the moment. I'm on 24 posts in total, so I need to pick up my game. But I've been posting relatively regularly, I would say on average 3 times a week for the last year, and my engagement has grown massively. The sort of feedback that I'm getting and the number of likes and so on has improved a lot. So consistency really pays off on social media, which it shouldn't be a surprise as long as the content is good. Next goal is I'll easily get 300,000 views on my posts on LinkedIn by December 31st. So looking at the previous goal, if I want to post 200 times and get 300,000 views, that means I should get about 1,500 views on average per post, which, considering that I have 20,000 plus connections on LinkedIn, it doesn't sound like much, but it's not like when I post that LinkedIn will show my post to 20,000 people. That's not how it works. So I think it's a healthy yet challenging goal. With that said though, I'm already on nearly 60,000, so about 30,000 a month. So if I keep doing what I've been doing, or if I actually pick up my game, that shouldn't be a problem to achieve that. If you think about it though, 300,000 people, having 300,000 people seeing your content, that's not a small number. And these things do have impact on the business. Plus, these goals being in the values category, if I share something and 300,000 people will see it, I have no doubt that that content will, out of 300,000 people, will make a difference to some of them. When they implement it, maybe it's just encouraging post and makes their day a little bit better. Maybe they ask for the promotion, maybe they ask for the pay rise, maybe they implement it in any other way. They get a little confidence boost. Then, hey, that's fantastic. By just posting on LinkedIn, I think it's a phenomenal impact. Next goal is I'll easily increase my Instagram engagement to 2% by December 31st. So again, while 2% engagement doesn't sound like much, the engagement drops quite dramatically when you grow your audience. So I'm on about 19,000 or 18,000 on Instagram, and my engagement currently is just below 1%, which means I'm getting about 180 units of engagement every time I post something, which is not bad. But with all fairness, I'm just not spending much time on Instagram. It's very easy to get hooked on scrolling, and it's not really adding that much value to me. I know that it's extremely valuable to some people, and some people love it, and good on them. It's just not the best use of my time. So because I'm not spending that much time on Instagram, and the engagement obviously is not as great as it could be, so I need to think, what am I going to do with that, or how am I going to resolve this? The last goal in this category is I'll easily reach 1,200 total posts on Instagram by December 31st. So even though I'm not as active in terms of commenting and replying and that kind of stuff, I do post regularly. I post 3 or 4 times a week. I do some stories. And the goal for this year is to post about 150 posts. So almost every other day. Just to keep it going, and I know that a lot of people like the quotes and stuff that I'm sharing. If you don't follow me on Instagram, head over to just my name, as you see on the top left corner. That's my Instagram handle as well, or on my website at the bottom. There are my social media handles that you can click on as well and follow me. There's by now over 1,000 various quotes and thoughts, inspiration, and that kind of stuff. At the moment, I'm on 1090 and I have posts scheduled until end of May, I believe, for the next 4 months or so. So yeah, that shouldn't be a problem to reach that goal. The next category of my goals is probably one of my favorite ones, which is health and fitness. So hey, let's look at that. There are some pretty ambitious and exciting goals in this category. The first one, I will easily complete 52 24-hour fasts, meaning no food or only so-called green days, which is when I only eat raw food or vegetable, by December 31st. I started fasting about 2 years ago, just regularly, a couple of times a week usually, when I just don't eat for 24 hours. So most of the time it's from dinner to dinner. And because I've done it so many times, it's not really a big issue, it's not a big challenge. So I usually do it at least once a week, sometimes 2 times a week. Now, for me to hit this goal, I need to do it at least once a week or 52 weeks, which shouldn't be a problem. My reason for fasting is I feel like it's doing me good. I feel like my body likes it. It's strange things to explain, but I just feel better. 8 times out of 10 on that fasting day, I have a lot more energy. There are a couple of exceptions where I feel like I'm lacking the energy, but I haven't yet figured out why that is. But still the ratio is great. It's also great for weight loss, obviously, if I don't binge eat afterwards, but that very rarely happens. So it's not only beneficial for my health, but it's also aiding my weight loss goals. And it's a great way to practice self-discipline, because I still have cravings during the day. I still feel hungry sometimes, but it's just hunger. It's not like I'm dying, right? So it's a really nice and healthy way to practice self-discipline. So far, I have done 8 fasts, so I'm bang on track with that. Next goal is I will easily complete a 48-hour fast by December 31st. I set this goal last year. I was postponing it to the point that then it came close to Christmas and it was hard throughout the holidays to find 2 days where I would not eat and it wouldn't interfere with any of the festivities. But it's only February or beginning of March, so I have plenty of time and I have no doubt that I'll be able to do that. I'm expecting for it to have an impact on how I'll feel. Like not eating for 2 days, I expect energy dip. So I need to just time it correctly so it doesn't interfere with other things that I do with my business and coaching and workouts and runs and so on. I'll just need to just commit 2 days to it and take it easy on those days and see how it goes, or at least on the second day. So far I haven't done that. But it's a nice challenge. I know people who fast for 7 days. One of my clients actually fasted for 30 days or 28 days as part of her cancer recovery. And she's a true fighter, and she made it through, and she's very, very, very inspiring. The next goal in this category is I will easily work out 200 times by December 31st. So 200 times, it means pretty much 5 times a week or 4 times a week, which is not a problem. At the moment, I'm on 65 workouts. I've been exercising a lot. I'm getting back into running because the weather is nice, as you can see. So that goal shouldn't be a problem, and I do really enjoy it. Next goal, I will easily weigh 78 kilograms or less by December 31st. Last year, when I was at the peak of my fitness, which was probably August, maybe September, I was on 77 kilos. After a long run, easily on 74. Because you just sweat so much, or I just sweat so much that weigh so much less. But having a regular weight of 78, I know that I feel and look better. So which is approximately 8 kilos or 9 kilos loss. And I'm aiming to lose body fat, not water or muscle mass. If anything, I'm trying to put on some muscles. So I'm presuming it would be approximately 15% body fat. I'm on about 22 at the moment. I'm just guesstimating. Next goal is I'll easily work with a personal trainer, online, offline, by June 1st. Again, at the moment it's really difficult. I'm looking for someone more in the realm of martial arts. Unfortunately, I can't work out with Luke, my martial arts or kickboxing trainer, which I really enjoyed. He's phenomenal, but now gyms are closed. Hopefully they will reopen and he will be back. Next goal is I will easily do 100 push-ups in one go, in one set, by December 31st. That's harder than it sounds. I had the same goal last year. With all fairness, I wasn't really giving it as much as I should have. Now I'm working out again, exercising again, so at the moment I'm on 64. The best I've ever got was 84. So yeah, I like this challenge, so let's see how far I get. Next goal is I will easily do 10,000 push-ups in total by December 31st. So because I practice or train to be able to do those 100 push-ups in one go, every time I work out, I track how many push-ups I've done overall. And I'm assuming that not only 10,000 push-ups in a year would be great. There are probably people who can do it in a few days, maybe in one day, I don't know. But if I do 10,000 push-ups, I think it should help me get closer to the 100 push-ups in one go. I'm currently on 2,296, which is well on track, maybe a little bit ahead. The next goal is I'll easily be able to plank for 5 minutes by December 31st. Again, 5 minutes doesn't sound like much, especially when the world record is, I think it's like 6 hours or something, some madness. I need to look it up. I forgot what it was, but 5 minutes sounds a bit pathetic, but it's harder than I expected to be initially, when last year I think I set the ambitious goal of 10 minutes and I got nowhere near that. At the moment, on 2.5 minutes, I do plank regular as part of my workout and running routine, so it shouldn't be a problem. The next goal is I'll easily plank for 500 minutes in total, similar to what I've done with the push-ups. So I got the challenge of the longest duration and then in total. So I'm currently on 46 minutes. I'm behind with that. I haven't been planking as much as I should. I need to find a way to incorporate it into my routines, so I don't have to think about it and I just do it as part of other routine, which is called habit stacking. Next goal is I'll easily run 1,000 kilometers by December 31st. Last year I well surpassed that goal, but I want to be reasonable considering the lockdown and everything. So 1,000, I think it's a pretty healthy goal. It's a nice challenge. I think it's totally doable. I'm on 200 kilometers so far, and I think it will just improve as I'm getting back into it, because I took a couple of months break from running over the winter months. But now the weather is nice again, and it's becoming way more enjoyable to run outside. I'm actually planning to go for a run after finishing recording this video. Next goal, I will easily run 5 unofficial half marathons by December 31st. Half marathon, 21 kilometers or 13 miles. After all that running and training that I've done last year, half marathon is kind of longer training distance. I usually run longer runs on Sundays, usually with my former client Robin, who is a very enthusiastic runner as well. And so doing 5 half marathons shouldn't be a problem. Definitely 1 a month shouldn't be a big deal. I've done one last weekend and it was actually pretty okay. So I feel very positive about this goal. Next goal is I will easily run 2 unofficial marathons by December 31st. Marathon, 42 kilometers, 26 miles. That's a little bit bigger challenge. It's not something you can just run, anytime you decide to go out for running. There's some preparation, especially if you want to reach some decent time. And so actually the 4 hours, 2 minutes and 4 seconds, that's my personal best from 2019. Last year I broke the record. I just need to update this time. And I think my time was 3 hours, 54 minutes, I believe. So I'd love to break that time. And I think I'll be able to do it this year as well. Now, next goal. This one is juicy. I will easily run one unofficial 50k ultra marathon by December 31st. So it's only 8 kilometers further than a regular marathon. But after you've run 42 kilometers, 8 kilometers is painful, or extra 8 kilometers is painful. And I really like the idea of running an ultra marathon and being able to say that I've run an ultra marathon. And I'm very confident that I'll be able to do it. I'm not sure in what time. I'm guessing I would like to do sub 5 hours. But that's 5 hours of continuous running at a relatively decent speed. My secret plan is that I will get my gear, get my stuff, sit on a train and go somewhere 50 miles or 50 kilometers away, and I will just run back home, rather than running around a park or something, which could be a little bit boring. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll turn it into a little adventure. Next goal, running, of course. I will easily run 2.5 kilometers in under 9 minutes. That's something I was able to do last year, and I would like to get back into that shape and that form. That was a pretty big challenge. Equally, the goal after, I will easily run 5 kilometers in under 19 minutes. At the moment, I guess I would be able to do maybe 22 minutes. So 3 minutes is a lot. It's, what is it, about 15% improvement? Doesn't sound like much, but it's, every second is a big push and big difference when you're getting close to your maximum. The next goal is I will easily run 10k under 41 minutes by December 31st. My personal best in the last few years has been last year 41 minutes and 38 seconds, and I'd like to break it. 38 seconds, it's half a minute. It will be painful, but I would like to accomplish that. And final goal in the health and fitness goals is I'll easily do yoga or stretching 50 times by December 31st. Of course, it's important to maintain flexibility and good posture and just keeping healthy. And 50 times, it's once a week. So it's not overly ambitious goal. I'll probably be able to achieve it. But I just wanted to make sure that I do the bare minimum, because most runners don't like stretching. And I don't necessarily enjoy it either. So more than anything, this is an accountability with this goal. And the last category are my personal development goals. So all the goals in this category are set and designed to help me grow and advance and improve my personal life. All the previous goals, apart from the health and fitness, were focused predominantly on my business or professional side of my life. And these ones are purely for my personal growth. And the first goal in this category is that I will easily start learning Tagalog by December 31st. Now, the reason for that is because our master plan, me and my fiancés, are that we will move to the Philippines in maybe a couple years' time. We will live there. I will live in the Philippines and run my coaching business online, so I can be coaching people from all around the world, just as I'm doing now, but living in an amazing country with amazing people and amazing food and amazing weather. And that image is very appealing. And so whilst English is very commonly spoken language there, and most people speak brilliant English, I want to learn at least the basics of their language, because I think it would be respectful if nothing else, and I want to be able to communicate in their languages as well. The next goal is I will easily complete 200 meditations by December 31st. I've been meditating for years now, and I find it very beneficial. It's very hard to put your finger on the impact meditation has. You will notice the impact of meditation when you stop meditating for several days. And so I have been meditating pretty much every day for the last several years. I don't go crazy and meditate for an hour or anything like that. Usually it's somewhere around 10 minutes, sometimes 5, sometimes 15. On the rare occasion for half an hour or so. But I usually do it first thing in the morning, just as it helps me start the day right and kind of get centered and get grounded and start the day right. So far I've done it 48 times. So yeah, pretty much every day, and I'm well on track with that goal. The next goal is I will easily complete an advanced meditation course by December 31st. So the meditations I've been doing are guided meditations with, through some of the apps that I have, like Headspace or Muse, also Calm. So I've been trying all these different apps, and they're all brilliant. But I'm thinking of looking into something a little bit more advanced. I don't want to go to a retreat. In case you want to suggest, thank you very much. To a silent retreat at the moment, it's not something I'm interested in. But if you know of any advanced meditation course, there's either online to purchase or online to attend, if I can do it virtually, then let me know in a comment. I'll be interested to know. I'm pretty sure that some of you have more advanced knowledge and skill of meditation than I do. I haven't started yet. I haven't started looking necessarily into it, just here and there, but I haven't decided on it. The next goal is that I will easily finish 12 books by December 31st. Now, for you that have been following my journey and my goals for several years now, you may have noticed that in the previous years I was aiming to finish 24 books or more, and this year is only 12. Why so? Well, there are several reasons for that. First of all, I want to take my time with these books. I want to make sure that I'm really reading to understand, and I'm reading to learn. I'm taking a lot of notes. I'm rereading chapters. I'm really absorbing the knowledge. Whereas if I have a goal to read a lot of books, I would be kind of going through it faster and possibly not absorbing, not learning as much. And hey, what's the point of just learning or just reading and not really getting the most out of it? So that's one reason. Second reason is I have started listening to a lot of really interesting podcasts, and that takes a lot of time as well. And that time I would normally be reading, so I'm quite selective with the information sources that I'm tapping into. And books are not the only ones. I think I've set any podcast related goals. It's somewhat hard to quantify, but this is the second reason that I'm learning not only through reading, but also following certain YouTube channels and podcasts, which I find really interesting. And I do the same way. I listen to it and I take notes and review it. I'm really learning from it. And I'm focusing this year a lot on quality over quantity. The next goal is I will easily run 3 personal 30-day challenges by December 31st. Now, I don't know what these challenges are going to be yet. If you have any suggestions, please type it in a comment. I'd love to know if there is anything you would recommend. I just think it would be interesting, and I'm quite excited and intrigued to do something that is, I suppose, out of ordinary for 30 days straight and seeing the impact of that. Yeah, I haven't decided yet what it would be. I haven't really thought of it, but I think 3 times a year, once every 4 months, it's totally doable. But yeah, so if you have any suggestions, please do let me know in the comments. Maybe you will be the person who will inspire me or even sort of set these challenges. The next goal is I'll easily journal 100 times by December 31st. Journaling is extremely valuable practice to do as a way of reflecting and going through your thoughts, taking things out of your head, and spending some personal time or private time with your thoughts and ideas and feelings. And I've always found it extremely valuable, and it's something that I did for years. I was very committed to it, making sure I was journaling and reflecting every day, and I attribute a lot of my personal growth, understanding myself, to journaling. So far, I have done 23 journal entries. Now, the final goal of this February update is I will easily continue my weekly reflections and monthly planning sessions by December 31st. It's something I've been doing every Sunday, just sitting down, reflecting on the progress that I've made, reflecting on my week, reflecting on the challenges that I've encountered, how I dealt with them or how I did not deal with them. And just in the same way as I described reflecting early on my coaching sessions, I do this with my personal life, with my goals, with my professional life, with my business. And every week I reflect and I plan for the next week. And I do the same thing in a kind of bigger scale at the end of each month, and I plan for the next month. It's extremely important because if you don't plan, you will just end up drifting and firefighting and reacting to the challenges that are being thrown at you. And it's very hard to prioritize sometimes opportunities that come your way that wouldn't yield bigger result or bigger ROI than the things that you would have planned. So this is it. That's the end of the February update. I really appreciate your time if you stayed with me all the way until now. I hope it's been useful, valuable. If you feel like you need to up your game with your goals and you feel like you have those reserves, there's more in you, then I highly encourage you to do that. Set goals that are challenging but doable. If goals are too easy, they're boring. We don't feel inspired to work on them. If they are too difficult that we feel like, what's the point? I will never achieve this. Then for most people, what will happen is that they just quit or they don't even try properly because what's the point? They feel like they're going to fail anyway. So I always feel it's somewhere on a scale from 0 to 10, maybe between 7 and 8. That's where I personally find that it's the right level of challenge for my personal goals. Hey, you can always up your game later on if you achieve that. If you surpass the goal or the milestone, just set another one. That's great. If you need any support with your goals, feel free to comment below. Feel free to get in contact. If you need any coaching, I'll be more than happy to have a chat with you and see if this could work. If you just choose to follow my journey and learn from everything that I'm sharing, if you're finding it valuable, hey, that's brilliant. Then I've succeeded. That's what I'm here for. And if you have any comments, feedback, again, leave it in a comment or drop me an email, get in touch. I'd love to know. Hey, with all that said, I appreciate your attention. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button if you enjoyed it or parts of it. And I look forward to seeing you on either the next goals update or on one of the videos that I'm preparing. As I mentioned earlier, I'm working on this big confidence series of short videos, nothing like this, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes, little bites, little videos where I will be sharing these different tips and methods to help you up your self-confidence, because self-confidence is extremely important for our personal and professional growth, but also for our emotional well-being. Thank you for your attention, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.